ever heard about the famous Ekpang Nkukwo? What were you told about it? Today we're going to be making Ekpang Nkukwo, and I am going to be taking you step by step on my Ekpang Nkukwo journey. So stay with me as we make these famous food from Cross River State, Nigeria. First, you're going to start by prepping your proteins. It could be fish, meat, any form of protein based on your preference. But in this video, I'll use fried fish, smoked catfish, fresh Titus fish, crayfish, pepper, onion, knorr, and salt. For the purpose of time, I would write down the list of the ingredients in the description, and I'll also add the ones that you need that I didn't use in the video or while I was cooking. Please bear with me because this voiceover is my first, so expect a little chaos. Sorry, I digressed. So after prepping your proteins, you set aside your vegetables, which is the leaf I used to wrap the ekpang, the water yam, and in Nigeria we call it green. As you can see, it's actually not difficult, so all you have to do is just take out the green or the vegetable, like I said, and then wrap it the way I'm doing in this video. So after here we were done, and I had already moved my pot to my cooker. Now that space that I told you to leave earlier, right now you put all your proteins into it. Leave the space right there, put your protein, your fish, everything. You have to put all of your proteins, your fish, your dry fish, your smoked fish, your meat. Yes, I forgot to list one of the item, which is periwinkles, which is a major part of Ekpang Nkukwo. So here, this is a process where I was trying to chop my green leaf. I'll show you where and what time I'll be adding the green leaf. Here I put in my pepper, my blended fresh pepper, and then I add my knorr. I mentioned earlier that I used knorr. Yeah, this is not an ad, it's just me telling you that I love knorr so much and I use it to make every single food that I eat. So I added my knorr, added salt, and you guys, you can't believe that I forgot to add crayfish. My pot was already cooking before I came back to open it and added crayfish to it. Don't worry, you see it afterwards. Yeah, after everything I added my water. So that space basically was for the ingredients and the water. This hot water, you put it in the middle and by the side of the pot. Put enough quantity so the pot won't get burnt, under, right? So that's how. So after everything, I covered my pretty pot and I put it right. I turned on my cooker and I put my pot on top of it. I know I'm not supposed to be explaining this part because everybody knows how to put pot on a cooker. But that's by the way. So I put the pot and I then allowed it to cook. I now remember that was when I literally remember that I hadn't put my crayfish in it. After doing all of this stuff, I came back to add my crayfish, and then I covered the pot and I allowed it to cook. Yes, that's what happened. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this part. So I stirred again. I just did a little stir so that the water can actually sit under the pot, and then I covered it. Oh, this is where the food was cooking. It was boiling, so I had to come like turn it a bit, not like stir the regular kind of stir, like randomly. So you just stir in specific places, the side, just the same way you put in the water, the middle, and I had to add another water because it was getting really dried, and it's supposed to like have a lot of water, a lot of moist, right? A lot of water, and I added my oil and I allowed to cook again. Just hold on and see where I put the water. Yeah, this is why I added the water, right? And I'm talking too much on this video. Please bear with me because this is the most chaotic video I have ever seen. So bear with me. So everything was cooking. I added more water again and I added oil to it. When did I add oil? I think I did afterwards. Okay. Ah, guys, look at how this whole thing is cooking. Shush! Shush! So I added oil. You need to put enough oil, right? Because ekpang needs a lot of oil. So you just like I had to stir again after putting the oil, so the oil can just circulate into all of the right places. You get. Oh, this was really enjoyable. Like I love creating these. I don't make ekpang always often, right? But anytime I do it, I cook it with love, with so much love in my heart. I know. So I allowed it to cook. When it cooked, I checked it again, checked it, turned it, and all. So when I allowed it to cook, this is the point where I pour my green, that small vegetable I told you to keep by the side and chop it. And the one that you saw that I chopped, this is it right here at the end of the meal. This green just does something to this ekpang at the end of the day. After the one you used to wrap it, that one is separate. But what this green, this chopped one, this vegetable does to this ekpang at the end of it is incredible. Like this is what makes it taste super. This is one of the major things, right? Major ingredients that make it taste so nice. Like the green at the end, it finishes work. Let me put it that way. It finishes work and the ekpang comes out clean, smooth, sweet, delicious. You just name it. So this is why I covered my pots, and then this is what I serve. Yummy. I know, right? It is. It's really beautiful. Alright guys, this is the end of my chaotic voiceover and my beautiful video. Kindly like, share, subscribe, and let me know in the comment section if you'll be trying this delicious dish. Bye.